Welcome back to Beyond Unlikely to Unlimited. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects every one of us, whether we realize it or not. Imagine this. You're ordering at your favorite restaurant, rattling off exactly how you want your meal prepared. But when it arrives, it's a complete disaster. Extra everything you didn't ask for, missing everything you did. Frustrating, right? Now think about this happening every day, in different parts of your life. This isn't just about bad waitstaff, it's about auditory processing. In today's episode, we're unpacking what auditory processing is, how it shapes our memory, and, most importantly, how we can improve it. Here's something to inspire you as we dive in. The brain is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Because the truth is, what you hear is what you get. The way your brain processes sound can either limit or unlock your potential in ways you never imagined. And the best part? It can be trained and strengthened. Grab a notepad or just settle in, because this is going to be fun, informative, and maybe even a little life-changing. We'll walk through some relatable examples, share insights on how auditory memory affects your daily life, and give you actionable exercises you can try right away. By the end of this episode, you'll not only understand how auditory processing works, but also how to harness its power to live unlimited. Let's begin with the basics. What exactly is auditory processing? Simply put, it's how your brain makes sense of the sounds it hears. Imagine you're at a busy coffee shop. You hear the hum of conversation, the hiss of the espresso machine, and someone calling out your name. Your brain has to sort through all that noise to recognize your name, decide it's important, and then prompt you to respond. That's auditory processing in action, the ability to receive, interpret, and store sound so you can act on it. Think of your brain as a sophisticated sound mixing board. Every single sound that enters your ears needs to be filtered, organized, and processed. It's not just about hearing the sounds. It's about understanding them, separating important information from background noise, and storing relevant details for later use. This process happens lightning fast, thousands of times a day, often without us even realizing it. But here's what makes this truly fascinating. Your brain's ability to process sound isn't fixed. Thanks to neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to form new neural connections, you can actually improve how you process and understand sound. It's like upgrading your brain's software through practice and targeted exercises. The more you work on it, the better your brain becomes at filtering, processing, and retaining auditory information. In a visual society, it is important to be intentional about strengthening this important area of the nervous system. Consider how this impacts your daily life. When you're following a recipe someone's reading aloud, participating in a video call, or trying to remember driving directions, all of these situations rely on your brain's ability to process and retain what you hear. The better your auditory processing works, the more efficiently you can navigate these everyday challenges. Let's walk through some common scenarios where auditory processing really shows its impact. Think about your last work meeting. Your supervisor is detailing a new project, outlining multiple deadlines, assigning various team members different responsibilities, and explaining the expected outcomes. By the time they finish speaking, you might find yourself struggling to remember who's responsible for what or which deadline corresponds to which task. This isn't just about memory, it's about how your brain processes and organizes information in real time. When you're having dinner with friends at a busy restaurant, trying to follow multiple conversations while also communicating with the server, your brain is working overtime to filter and process all these different sound inputs. For some people, this can be overwhelming, leading to missed social cues or difficulty participating fully in conversations. At home, these challenges can manifest in different ways. Parents might notice their children struggling to follow multi-step instructions, not because they're being difficult, but because their auditory processing system is still developing. Please put your shoes away, hang up your coat, and wash your hands before dinner might result in only one or two tasks being completed, while the others are forgotten in the process. Think about phone conversations, especially important ones like medical appointments or job interviews. When you can't rely on visual cues or body language, your auditory processing abilities become even more crucial. Missing key details or misinterpreting information can have significant consequences, from scheduling mix-ups to misunderstanding important instructions. In educational settings, students with auditory processing challenges might struggle to take notes while listening to a lecture, or have difficulty following verbal instructions during exams. What might seem like inattention could actually be their brain working extra hard to process and organize the incoming information. Now that we understand how auditory processing affects our daily lives, let's explore some practical exercises you can start using today to strengthen these skills. These techniques are simple but powerful, and with consistent practice, you'll begin to notice improvement in how you process and retain auditory information over time. Let's start with the number game. Think of it as a gym workout for your brain. Begin by having someone read you a sequence of 3 numbers at a normal pace. After they finish, repeat the numbers back in the same order. As you get more comfortable, gradually increase the length of the sequence. This exercise builds your auditory working memory. Reading aloud is another excellent tool for strengthening auditory processing. Listening to audiobooks is another tool. Choose a book or article and read or listen without music playing in the background. This passive exercise helps strengthen the language center of your brain as well as your auditory system. Creating quiet time is equally important. Set aside 15 minutes each day to sit in a quiet space without any electronic devices or distractions. This gives your auditory system a chance to reset and can improve your overall processing abilities. Think of it as meditation for your ears. Remember, improvement happens gradually. You might not notice changes immediately, but stick with these exercises. Practice them consistently, and you'll start to see improvements in how you process and retain auditory information in your daily life. The key is to make these exercises part of your regular routine, just like any other healthy habit. As we wrap up today's episode on auditory processing, let's review the key points we've covered. Your brain's ability to process and retain sound information isn't fixed. It's a skill you can develop and strengthen over time. Through simple exercises like the number game, reading aloud, and creating dedicated quiet time, you can enhance your auditory processing abilities and transform how you interact with the world around you. Remember, improvement doesn't happen overnight. It's about making small, consistent changes and celebrating the progress along the way. Whether you're struggling to follow conversations in noisy environments or wanting to boost your memory for verbal instructions, the techniques we've discussed today can help you achieve your goals. If you found value in today's episode, please share it with friends or family members who might benefit from these strategies. Don't forget to subscribe to Beyond Unlikely to Unlimited for more insights and practical tips on unlocking your full potential. For additional resources and personalized guidance on improving your auditory processing skills, reach out to us directly at Begin International. Come and request a free auditory processing kit or visit brainsprints.com. Together, we can transform what might seem unlikely into unlimited possibilities. Until next time, keep practicing, stay patient with yourself, and remember, every small step forward is progress worth celebrating.